More news from Hillsborough. Akin Famewo ends his association with Wednesday after 3 years. It looks like he might be off to Hull City. In normal circumstances, a player who's been as plagued by injuries as he has, 73 appearances in 3 years, I'd probably think, parting of the ways, maybe he can make a fresh start and this and the other. But two things make it another gutting situation that's occurred. Firstly, Akin Famewo, the start of last season was absolutely fantastic. The best he'd played since he joined the club. And I thought, he looks a top championship centre half here. And secondly, of course, is the fact that it's another player out of the doors, another first team player out of the door, and it leaves us so short at the back. So short at the back. We've just got 4 sort of first team regulars in the back 4. Included in that is Deshaun Bernard, who's injured till September. Dominic Ioford, who struggled himself with injuries over the years, and obviously we've got Liam Palmer, who I think he's going to have to end up playing all over that back 4 this current season, so it's another player out. Still no first team players coming in. Other news today, Callum Patterson has been training with Wednesday again. Whether that's just to keep fit or whether that's with an eye on signing him back on at some stage, that'd be great news for me if we re-signed Callum Patterson. As you know, big fan of Callum Patterson on this channel. And the season that lays ahead of us, you need players like that, because every single week is going to be a battle. Every single week you're going to need experienced players in there who know what they're doing and who can help lead those young lads, and Callum Patterson would certainly be one of those. You need 11 people with that attitude this coming season. There was a bit of panic in the week. There was no sign of Barry Bannon on the training photos. We understand he'd got a little bit of a niggle, so that's why he wasn't taking part. But again, that's all up in the air, as so many things are. And I saw a tweet this morning from one of our local journalists who once covered Wednesday, obviously, Dom Howson, nickname of Doom. But understandable, I think we're all getting a little bit dumb at the minute, and he made some very good points in this tweet. I'll just get it up for you. Wednesday's pre-season. No public pre-season friendlies. No clarity on the manager situation. No new signings for the first team, certainly. No official word on the North Stand. And no leadership from the top. 100%. 100%. There's so many stories coming out of Wednesday and Hillsborough, as there has been all through the pre-season, but it's all second hand. It's all stuff that is either coming out from people who are in the club, sort of behind the scenes, and what our local journalists can dig out, but from the club itself, nothing official. But there seems to be no leadership, and that's a problem that we've had for years on end, when you've got one person calling all the shots and that person isn't invested in the running of the club. He's living thousands of miles away and seemingly, got the kite on and don't know what's what. So all these issues. Now, one of the things that Dom mentioned there is no official pre-season friendlies. Now, the reason for that is quite evident. I would have thought, A, they don't want the thought of Wednesday fans turning up and making any form of protest. And B, they probably don't want them turning up and seeing how threadbare we are. Because that will affect the attitude and the atmosphere going into next season. Usually pre-season, you're getting a little look at players and thinking, oh, well, it could be on here. If you're looking at that and you're seeing the struggles, as we did with the Cisco pre-season the other year, the friendly games, people said don't read too much into them, but there was games there where we were playing amateur teams and we're not registering a shot on target. And you can take clues from that what the season's going to be. And I think that's another reason why Wednesday have been playing these games behind closed doors. Now, another thing that's popped up today, and people are getting panic, on the internet, it does say that the Wednesday versus Mansfield friendly has been cancelled. Now, to that end, I've actually got to be fair to Wednesday, because they've said it wasn't a friendly anyway. It's a training exercise. A training exercise which is going to be split up into smaller sections so that everybody's getting a run out and the minutes are all managed. So not so much of a friendly as a training game, and they have admitted that. But again, talking about players getting the exact number of minutes and this or other, but at this stage of the season, with this pre-season, with the kick-off just a fortnight away, shouldn't we already be building to a stage where players can all get the full 90 minutes in? Shouldn't we already be approaching that stage? So, as usual, more questions than there are answers. Anyway, that's enough for me. I'm going to go and get some snap. And I might see you tonight. I might do a live stream depending how hot it is and whether I can sleep or not. Anyway, for now, see you later. Take care.